Ready? All right, I now call to order the Thursday, June 27th, 2024 meeting of the City of Sugar Land Planning and Zoning Commission. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, city staff, and good evening, commissioners. It's good to see you and be with you for a change. We will start with item 2, public comment. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
We have no one signed up.
Then we'll move to 3A, consideration of an action on the minutes of the April 25th, 2024 meeting. Those minutes are in your packets. Any revisions, or do I hear a motion?
Motion to pass.
I've got a motion to pass
Second.
the minutes by Commissioner Preek. I've got a second. And any further discussion? All right, please vote. All right, that'll pass. Thank you very much, commissioners. Next is item 4A, facts, findings, and recommendation, consideration of and action on a recommendation for the fiscal year 2025 to 2029 capital improvement program to members of City Council. We've got Robert Wilson with us and perhaps others, so I'll turn it over to you.
Alrighty, thank you, commissioners. So we're here to talk about the FY25-29 capital improvement program. The goal is to review the draft list of new projects as per the city charter, section 501. It's to receive input from Planning and Zoning Commission and recommendation of City Council and the City Manager for the 5-year CIP. These are a draft list until City Council approves. There's no reference to funding. It's not fiscally constrained. Sources come from City Council, city staff, PER studies, master plans, assessments, development agreements, citizens and civic groups, regulatory mandates, et cetera. This year, the city is considering a general obligation bond in November 24. The financial management policy anticipates bond elections every 5 years. So you'll see some projects that are included on that package. The strategy is for funding identified when it's not within financial capacity or time frame for completion. City Council desires voter input and consideration of the projects. The city history to date, we've had 3 general obligation bonds, 1999, 2013, 2019. And focuses will include public safety, streets, traffic, mobility, and sidewalks, the full scope of the animal shelter, drainage, and facilities. That project will be over a 5 to 7 year planning phase. So with the CIP project categories, we have the airport, municipal, surface water, traffic, water, wastewater, drainage, streets, and parks for a total of 9 categories. So the airport new projects, we have the terminal apron expansion in FY25. We have the new fuel farm design and construction, FY25, the rental car parking lot expansion in 26, and the admin building and terminal renovation in FY27. Those projects are all on the map here at the Sugar Land Regional Airport. Drainage projects, we have Austin Parkway drainage modifications, which is to be determined. Any of these with to be determined will be included in the general obligation bond package. State Highway 6 at Brook Street drainage modifications, Sugar Lakes inlet replacement, windmill drainage modifications, Hillstone drainage modifications. The Brazos River erosion and US 59 and Memorial Park erosion repairs will be FY25. Brazos River erosion, Riverstone is FY25, and Chatham and McAllister drainage modifications to be determined. Those projects are on this map here for locations. Municipal new projects, SWAT command vehicles, Austin Parkway fuel station rehab, general public safety facilities rehab, public safety training facility phase 3, fire apparatus replacement and rebuild, renovation of the existing PD and court building and a new police headquarters, public services building rehab and modernization, the field maintenance facility and animal shelter, all to be determined. Those locations are shown here on the map. Parks new projects, we have the Ganaway Lakes Trails in FY25, the Sugar Land Trail phase 2, FY25, the Oyster Creek parking lot expansion in FY25, and an additional parks project in 27.
Hey, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes, sir.
Did I miss one on municipal? Did I hear you say something about the animal services center?
Yes.
Am I missing it in the materials? Because I don't see that one.
Yeah, it's not included in there.
So, sorry to interrupt, but why don't you, since we don't have a summary of that, if you give us a description and brief justification, that would be helpful.
Absolutely. So we had the funding for the 2019 GEO bond for animal shelter. There were some modifications needed post-COVID, inflation of the project, and expansion of the scope and the needs of the animal shelter. So the additional funding would be to fund that additional on the animal shelter.
Just for the record, is there a project number for that?
It is MU 1901,
Thank you very much.
I believe. It may be 1908. I can confirm that here shortly.
All right.
It's in the current CIP book, though, so it would be amending funding for that. Streets new projects, sidewalk rehab and replacement, major street rehab, Sweetwater Boulevard reconstruction phase 1, which is also a 50% match for Fort Bend County Mobility Bond in 2023. Lexington Boulevard reconstruction phase 1 and phase 2, which are part of that mobility bond, 50% funding as well. Williams Trace reconstruction, Sweetwater Boulevard reconstruction phase 2, Austin Parkway reconstruction phase 1 and 2. The Settlers Way Boulevard reconstruction, which is also part of the bond package with Fort Bend County for 50% match. The residential street reconstruction and panel replacement and additional major street rehab. Those projects are located on this map here. Traffic new projects is traffic signal rehabilitation, the various congestion concerns, mobility program project implementation, the Dulles Avenue sidewalk widening and pedestrian bridges, trail system connections, additional routes, sidewalk widening, Austin Parkway and Commonwealth intersection safety modifications, which are all part of the general obligation package. The Lake Point to Sugar Land Town Center connection design, and the Bernie Main sidewalk widening to 7th and intersection modification at Stadium Drive, which are all TBD. Those projects are located here. The surface water new projects, the surface water treatment plant rehabilitation phase 2 in FY25, reclaimed water south of the Brazos phase 1 FY25, the reclaimed water south of the Brazos transmission lines phase 1 FY25, the reclaimed water south of the Brazos phase 2 FY27, and the reclaimed water south of the Brazos transmission lines phase 2 FY27, and the North Wastewater Treatment Plant reuse preliminary engineering report in FY28. Those projects are located here on the map. New wastewater projects is south of the Brazos Wastewater Treatment Plant in FY25, the south of the Brazos Wastewater Treatment Plant diversion FY25, south of the Brazos Wastewater Treatment Plant Greatwood Wastewater Treatment Plant decommissioning in FY26, south of the Brazos Wastewater Treatment Plant phase 2 in FY27. Those projects are located here. For new water projects, the groundwater plant building improvements FY25, water south of the Brazos Water Treatment Plant phase 1 FY25, water south of the Brazos elevated storage tank in FY25, water south of the Brazos water line connection to Greatwood FY25, and water south of the Brazos phase 2 FY29. Those projects are located in this region per the map. And with that, we request that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend the FY25 through 29 capital improvement and new projects list to the city manager and city council. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions for staff?
I just had a clarification or curiosity on the process. So once this goes through this board, does the public get a chance to look at this and view this before it goes to city council, or does it go straight from here to council?
So it was actually taken to city council last week to the city council, or to city council to workshop, and then it will go into the city manager's budget filing in July, and then it gets action in August by city council.
That's all I had. Just more of a process related.
Yeah, so to follow up on that, so our role in this is to take up a recommendation to council for consideration of the projects. Council, am I correct in assuming then that council, when considering this list, also, or separately then considers whether or not how funding is going to work and does some prioritization as far as that's concerned?
Correct.
Okay, so we're voting basically to say the project list looks good and you should consider it in the normal course along with whatever your other considerations are for
Correct.
funding. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions?
I guess the list that goes to city council will have the normal shelter.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And just one, at least one, well, I don't never say just one question because then it's always two. I learned that a long time ago, but at least one question. So on the Brazos River erosion project, so there's obviously a lot going on with the Brazos River, right?
Yes, sir.
Most folks here are probably familiar with the bridge construction or reconstruction, whatever you want to call that. These projects look like they are designed just to kind of, I'm going to say shore up, but that's a bad pun, but you know, they're to basically to stabilize the banks on the river. Can you talk about whether or not there is at the planning level kind of an overall strategy for dealing with Brazos River issues writ large, if that's a fair question?
Absolutely. So the city completed back in 2018 the Brazos River erosion studies. So that identified 13 critical locations across the city for erosion inside the city limits. The county expanded that study in 2020. They identified 29 critical locations throughout the county. So what this funding has done is it's allowed us to target erosion sites throughout the city for essentially the US 59 corridor, Memorial Park, and then additional, the Riverstone project hits some more sites down south on the river. What it does is it actually creates a nature-based solution to prevent future erosion and to block off the river from moving further.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. Any other questions for staff? I'll make a motion that we recommend approval of the fiscal year 2020, excuse me, let me try that again. I will make a motion that we recommend approval for the fiscal year 2025 to 2029 capital improvement program to the members of City Council.
I second.
I'm sorry, who said, you've got that? Okay, we've got a second, and any other discussion? All right, please vote. All right, that passes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on to item 5, city staff reports. To the extent anyone here covered either the May 7th, May 21st, June 4th, or June 18th council meetings, love to hear a report. That may not happen. Maybe some of our absent folks. Hearing none, we will move on to 5B, city staff reports.
I'm on. Okay, sorry. We just wanted to let you know about your upcoming meetings. You will not have a meeting on July 9th. We don't have any items. But coming up on July 25th, you'll start seeing some redevelopment workshops that we're going to bring with you in combination with development planning and community planning and redevelopment. Our plan is that through the months, through July and then continuing into October, we'd like to have at least a once a month meeting where we workshop some redevelopment ideas with you, as well as other things that might come along between now and then. So we look forward to seeing you on July 25th.
Thank you, appreciate it. Before we adjourn, for clarity purposes, I should have called out that I think Commissioner Patel had the second on both the minutes and also the CIP plan, so let's let the minutes reflect that as well. I apologize for not calling that out in real time. I want to make sure that makes it into the record. Any other business? All right, I'll move to adjourn. Is there a second? Is there a second? That motion passes. We are adjourned. Good night, everyone.